Hey everybody, what's going on? Man, it's been a long time. How's everybody doing? If you've been on any epic camping trips, let me know down in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious. For me, well, let's go back. Where have I been? Most of you know that I had some major dental surgery. They took skin from all over the place and just made me new gums. I had some bad gum recession, and I'm not gonna get too much into it, but yeah, it sucked for a couple weeks there. But I'm back. I'm off my Jello and pudding diet, and I'm back into my normal backpacking food allowance. So we're doing good. In fact, there's a couple things I want to accomplish with this video. I want to tell you about the Grand Canyon and traveling and the things I kind of learned to maybe help you out with a future trip that you may have. I want to tell you about upcoming trips and the PCT. And then I want to go into the reviews that I need to get out soon here. There's a couple things that I really want to talk about that I'm really ready to talk about, and let's just dive right in. First of all, Grand Canyon. Wow. Even driving out west is like a special trip on its own, you know what I mean? I've never experienced the West Coast scenery ever. I've just been an East Coast guy. I've never made my way past Kentucky. Well, actually, I lied. I've been to Minnesota, and that's about as far west as I've ever been. And I'll tell you what, the Grand Canyon is magical, to say the least. We had such a great time there. It was just an unbelievable trip. I got to spend a lot of time with my dad. I got to have him accomplish one of his bucket list items. And although our trip itinerary had to change to an overnight trip, the first day we did the whole touristy thing, and it was just wonderful. I loved it. I would do that again in a heartbeat. Couple things that I've noticed that I wanted to kind of brain dump to you guys. Flying with backpacking gear, your trekking poles, they can't be brought on the plane with you. You actually have to check them in a bag, right? So I checked them with my backpack. I put it in like a hard shell luggage case and just checked the bag and went on the plane and arrived perfectly fine. Things I found interesting though, lighters and power banks must stay with you in the cabin. I'm assuming due to pressurization. Just want to make you aware that don't leave your power bank in your checked bag, your luggage, and make sure you have your lighters up front with you. No fuel, obviously. In fact, we were kind of debating whether to bring our alcohol stoves, my cat can stove running on denatured alcohol. In this case, I would be using an automotive product called Heat, H-E-E-T, or my canister stove. And turns out, man, I should have brought my canister stove because those were readily available for purchase. Not the stove, but the actual canisters. Now, we had called in advance to the general store in Tusayan, which is where we stayed, and we were assured that they have bottles of heat. Well, they must have thought we were talking about canister fuel, because though they said they had heat when we arrived at like 9 o'clock that first night, they didn't have anything that we could run our stoves off of. So we went to the gas station and again, didn't find anything that would really work. So we started messing around with some automotive products. I found this product which was a fuel line cleaner, fuel injector cleaner, something that cleans something or other parts on a car. I'm not an automotive guy. But it said combustible, so I assumed that, okay, this would take a flame. So we poured an ounce of it into my stove, lit right up, boiled the water. It was dirty for sure, but it worked. So we got a couple of bottles of them and headed to the Grand Canyon the following day. Now for lunch or for dinner, whatever it was, we noticed that my stove would no longer light up even with this fuel. And I wish I could tell you the fuel, what we got, but it definitely did not work. After one use, that was it. That was the end of the stove. So I went ahead and I made 2 new alcohol stoves. My pot smelled to high heaven. My pot koozie, I had to remake completely because I couldn't clean it enough to get that stinky smell out. So just for anybody traveling, just go canister. It's not worth the alcohol stoves, at least for the Grand Canyon where I was at. Now, man, did we have a great time at camp, but I will just wait till the video comes out. Come on, National Park Service, we really want to get that video out. Give me my commercial filming permit. It's been about 6 weeks now. I'm just hoping that they give it to me. but we shall wait and see. And that video is edited, it is done, it is ready on YouTube. I just got to flip the button as soon as I get permission to talk about my First Amendment rights. And I hope it doesn't turn into the Shenandoah commercial permit, because I've asked them in February and I still haven't heard back anything from them. Multiple inquiries, actually. So, man, National Park Service, if you're going to implement a law or a rule, make sure you actually have a way of providing your customers, a way of paying you. I mean, I'm happy to pay the fee or whatever it ends up being, but at least write me back, especially because I think it's illegal anyway. But I'm not the lawmaker, I'm not the judge or the jury, I'm just the guy that films on YouTube. Anyway, next set, PCT. Let's talk about PCT news. So yesterday was the pre-registration for your PCT through hiker permit. So I'm all registered. Now what's gonna happen is in November 14th, I will log in, check my email, and get a specific time tailored to me for when I can log in and go for a permit date. Now they're releasing 50 permits a day from March 1st to May 31st. The first round is the first 35 permits, and then in early January, like January 3rd or something, they'll release the rest of the 15 per day. Now I'm really hoping, crossing my fingers, that I can get that PCT backpacker's permit, because it saves me a lot of time logistically getting all the local permits. And some of those local permits, you actually have to go into town, talk to a ranger while the ranger station is opened, get your permit approved, go back to the trail. It's just, I'd rather, if I'm gonna do this, I'd really, really want the PCT permit. But if I can't get it, then I will, yes, absolutely go for these local permits. Tomorrow, I'm actually leaving on a 72-mile trip. Now, it's a place I've already been to. It's called the Cohana Trail in central Pennsylvania. Just want to get out, get conditioned, to kind of beat up my feet a little bit, because I've been on my butt for a while with this dental stuff. 4-day trips work really, really well with me and conditioning and dialing in gear. You can get really close on a 3-day trip, but adding that extra day, that extra little mileage in there, that's what does it for me. That's the difference maker for me. So we're gonna get that done. Depending on when I hear from the National Park Service about the commercial filming permit, I might release the Cohana first. But if it's like the middle of or the end of November, I'm gonna go ahead and release the Grand Canyon, I guess, without monetization, which I'm sure is probably somehow still illegal. But we'll see. It's my personal vlog. It's not like I'm hurting anyone or showing anybody bad things to do. I literally talk about Leave No Trace in the video. So I don't know. I have a video, I gotta release it. So if they wanna talk to me, find me, by all means. You didn't respond to my inquiry. With that being said, there's a couple pieces of gear that I am way due on reviewing. First off is the Ultra 200 Light AF backpack. Now this was a backpack that there's a whole bunch of new features on it. And some of these features I feel need adjusted. And I've talked to Chris from Light AF about this, and for the most part, I think he's either fixed, removed, or modified all the things that I'm about to talk about. So it's no longer an issue, but I do want to get my thoughts out there. I wanted to get the review of the Evolved Supply Company pack out. Now my dad has been using that and he loves it. He absolutely loves that pack. It's like the only pack that he ever wants to use again. He asked me if he could buy it off me. I just gave it to him. And I can't review that pack because honestly, I haven't been able to use it because I can't get the water bottles out of the water bottle pockets. Now that issue also has since been fixed. They've been cut, they've been lowered, and at trail days, I actually tried on the pack and it works out perfectly for me. Darwin just hasn't gotten time to make another batch for me or whatever he's planning on doing. But again, my dad loves the pack, so that should tell you something. Now, being that I'm really short at 5'6", that may also have something to do with me not being able to reach the bottle pockets. And then the last video I want to do, at least the last video that's planned, is my review finally on the Plex Solo. Great tent, definitely the tent that I'm going to be starting out the PCT with. I want to go in depth and talk about my opinions on the Plexamid versus Plex Solo, because it's definitely a huge leap forward in the right direction. Anyway, I'm going backpacking. I still got to pack, so I need to get my butt off of this chair and get going. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with this channel, and I will see you a lot in the near future, guys. Thanks. Have a good one.